Hello and welcome to my lair. It is officially too hot to go outside any more than absolutely necessary, so today we're going to stay inside and I'm going to give you an insanely in-depth, detailed tour of the sewing room. I'm going to show you all the nooks and crannies, give you all of the lore dumping that you could ever possibly want, or maybe you don't want, in which case don't watch this video, because I don't want to see people complaining in the comments that, oh my gosh, this was way too much detail and way too much talking and blah blah blah. That's exactly what this is, so you know up front what you're getting into. So let's get into it. This room has been through 2 rounds of decorating and updates, starting when we first moved in, and my focus was primarily getting the space set up and functional, although aesthetics were still on my mind. As I continued to live with and work in the space, however, I kept feeling like it could be even better, both by making some functional improvements, but especially by making it more aesthetically cohesive and immersive. This room has taken a lot of work, but it has definitely become my favorite room in the whole apartment. Now, before you've even fully entered the room, you will notice on the door this little wreath. This is one that I decorated myself. I thrifted the base of the wreath from the Habitat Restore in Colonial Williamsburg, and it came with a bunch of like random fake greenery on it, so I just took all of that off, put my own decoration on it. And then on the back of the door is the inspiration vision board for the current ongoing collaboration project that we're doing over on Instagram. It's been a little slow going recently, so if you're following along with that, thank you for your patience. But when you first walk into the room, on your left is this little corner that is kind of like a reading nook of sorts. Do I sit here and read? No, I actually don't use this chair as much as I thought I would. But this is just a cozy little nook that is mostly storage. Actually, a lot of this room is mostly storage. So anyway, over here in this corner before the corner, I have a set of 4 thrifted picture frames. In each of them is a bird. The pictures of birds are actually just wrapping paper. It's like the cutest wrapping paper I could have ever hoped to find at the thrift store. And then this stick right here is one that I debarked, sanded, stained, all of that good stuff, and then decorated for my Plague Doctor costume. Was that 2021 or 22? It was a while ago. I don't have any other planned uses for this stick, but I put a lot of work into it and I think it's cool, so I'm keeping it. Moving along onto this little bulk out here. This is a thrifted printer's tray. I got this actually for like $6 at my local thrift store, which I think is a steal. Usually these things are marked up honestly way too high. So I have collected quite a lot of trinkets, found a lot of little knickknacks and doodads to put in here. I'm not gonna talk about every single one of them. This is an in-depth, insanely detailed tour, but I'm not going to make you sit through that. Some of these are things given to me from friends. A couple of these are trinkets that I've gotten at the Renfaire. This is just a really cool piece of driftwood. You know, sometimes you find a really good stick and it just looks cool. So it lives here in my sewing room now. I got this painting at a yard sale. This I made in a previous video on the channel. You can go watch that. It is still up. Right here is actually a framed copy of a poem that my friend wrote. She was inspired after a conversation that we had some years ago, and so she wrote about it. And then this little table down here is actually, I think it's a humidor. I thrifted it for $35. I had been looking for a little table for this area, but just wasn't finding anything. Everything on Marketplace was either too large or marked way too high, like way more money than I wanted to pay. And lo and behold, once I gave up looking for one, I found something suitable at the thrift store. So it kind of isn't really a functional table though. What I have set up on here now is like, well, this is like a little candle snuffer thing. I don't know what they're called, and I keep forgetting that it's there because it gets lost in this little like fur that I have. But otherwise, it just holds my tray of rocks. Like I've got my big chunk of labradorite that I love. This is my favorite rock. It's just so pretty. I think this is a smoky quartz. I can't remember. I don't collect gems because I think they like do anything. I collect them because, ooh, pretty. Same thing with this. This is a big chunk of amethyst that I got at the Renfaire. So beautiful. And then I justify these purchases by using them as pattern weights when I'm cutting out fabric. I don't know, seems like a win-win to me. Down inside the humidor, I had a hard time figuring out like what to put in there. So I have just yarn. I don't do a lot with yarn. I mostly sew. It's a running joke between me and my husband that he always says, oh, you and your knitting, even though he knows full well that I don't knit. Sometimes I crochet, and I mostly just crochet granny squares because they're super easy. I don't really do much with yarn, but I like to keep a little bit of yarn. You know, if a humidor is a terrible place to store that, you can let me know. Do so kindly, please. I haven't had any issues with it yet. So anyway, that's where yarn is. And then below on the little shelf are a couple of books and a jewelry box that has some of my most costumey costume jewelry, because technically like almost all of my jewelry is costume jewelry. I just don't particularly have a lot of interest in spending tons of money on very expensive jewelry, but this is like my actual costume stuff. Moving further into the nook, again, the bulk out here, because we are in a basement, so I think this is hiding like plumbing, central HVAC, whatever. So it's got this cool little nook back here. I think it would be really cool to build in some shelves to that, but I have neither the time nor money nor patience to do that right now, and this is working fine, honestly. So I have this little bookshelf back here that fits quite nicely. This is a lot of storage. All the way behind the bookshelf, there is a little bit of space left, and that's where I keep my guitar in its case. My poor neglected guitar. I don't want to fully put it like in deep storage, because every once in a while inspiration will strike and I'm like, ooh, I need to write something down, but it's not super often, so poor guitar is in the corner. And then above the bookshelf is a poster that I was gifted by a friend in college. I've never had the time nor money to get it properly framed. I feel like it should be, because it's a vintage, like very old poster, but it's one of my favorites. I love it. My husband's not really a fan, so I figured this was the perfect place to put it so that it's visible to me and to those who appreciate it, but we're not gonna have little kids strolling into our house being like, why is she sitting naked in a field like that? Be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because she looks lovely, that's why. This styrofoam head is a little creepy. That's fine. This is a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a flower crown, because it's not flowers. A crown I made by cannibalizing an old Christmas decoration I wasn't going to use. That's not the right word either. Cannibalizing? Deconstructing. And I never really got around to putting it away, and also it's kind of fragile, so it might be hard to store. So this works fine for now. I've also got some jars back here of stuff that I've been meaning to do things with. Like, this is just a jar of clay soil that I dug up from my parents' house, and I want to figure out how to, like, I don't know, make a little pinch pot from it. And then just going down the shelves, these are like notebooks, a few sewing patterns, sketchbook, collage material, a copy of the DSM-5. Again, I probably could put this in storage. I went to school to be a therapist. I worked in children's mental health for a few years, and only after all of that did I realize, yeah, I don't think I want to be a therapist. Listen, the knowledge has served me well in other areas of my life, but I went through a lot to come to that conclusion. Got my box set of Buffy and the first season of Outlander, which both of these I just watch on repeat. Those are the two halves of my personality, Buffy and Outlander. I also got these plastic acrylic storage drawers off Amazon for some of my smaller, like, random notions. As much as I prefer closed storage and not being able to see everything all the time, this has worked out really good for that. Then moving down, I've got a couple baskets of like leather scraps, lace scraps, my boxes of beads, and all the way at the bottom is my basket of patterns. This is literally all of the patterns that I have. Like, you would think that I would maybe have more, and actually I could probably get rid of some of these. I kind of tend to use the same shapes over and over again, and or I do a lot of thrift flips with existing items. When you find the shapes that you like, you don't need a lot. Some of these are just honestly kind of just in case, because I'll look at the shape and be like, I might use that shape. I don't know. This is my adjustable dress form with the current iteration of the mock-up for the collab project over on Instagram, and then bringing it back to this chair, which I thrifted 2 summers ago for $20. I don't sit in it as much as I thought I would, but it sure looks cute. I also have a little bit of storage underneath, just like a couple bins of random things. Sometimes Charles will come in here and sit in the chair and watch TV while I work, and lately I have discovered that our puppy actually kind of likes it, and it's low enough to the ground that I think when she's full grown, she'll be able to jump up into it herself. I usually keep my couple of stuffed animals in the chair as well, but again, puppy chewing on everything. So I had to put these guys in a basket that I can easily like move out of the way when she comes in here. The black cat was a gift from a friend on my 30th birthday. I had an emo themed birthday party, naturally, and I don't know, he just thought I would like a black cat, and I do like the black cat. He's very cute. The cat's name is Spike. The Highland cow, my husband won for me at an arcade last summer in Rehoboth. The little hamster is the newest addition. This was a gift from one of my students at the end of this school year. His name is Mr. Squibbles, a character that came about during one of our improv games, and I love him. He's perfect. So right now I have those living on the little stuffed ottoman that I made to go with the chair, and to be honest, I don't use the stuffed ottoman that much. It kind of is just sitting there as like a little table of sorts. So I don't know what will happen to that. I'm gonna leave it for now and not mess with it. So yeah, that is this corner. That's our first little corner. Now this corner is where the magic happens. This is probably the corner of the room that gets featured most in my videos. Obviously, this is where my desk is. This was just a basic L-shaped desk that I bought off Amazon when we first moved into this apartment. I don't love this desk. I didn't realize when I bought it that it almost matches the floorboards. I should have bought plain black, but it's fine. It's here. It works okay enough. No point in replacing it, really. I keep my machines over here on this L shape along with this lamp that I thrifted. Down below, I have a cube storage thingamabob where I have my little sewing box, a bin of like current ongoing stuff, like a catch-all bin for scraps as I'm working, and then a bin of other ongoing projects. What is this bin? I don't really know how to categorize it. I guess it's kind of stuff that's awaiting repairs, but they've been waiting a long time. And then next to that, I have this tower that I think I got online from Walmart. I don't love it. I don't recommend. I just knew I wanted something tall and narrow like this with the small drawers, and then it has two bigger ones at the bottom. So this does work pretty well space-wise for, what do I have in here? Like a handful of notions, random crafting stuff, random electronic stuff like cords, headphones, stickers, USB, miscellaneous stuff that I might need at my desk. Some of it is notions, some of it is computer stuff for when I'm doing my editing or filming. Just like the desk, I wouldn't buy it again, but it works fine, so there's no point in replacing it really. So that is storage down below, and this I don't think was meant to be a trash can. This is a basket that I got from my mom that she was getting rid of, but it works great as a trash can and it fits the space really nice. This chair, again, also unfortunately bought from Amazon because I wasn't finding anything else that met my specifications. I wanted something spinny, swivelly, a task chair, but I needed something that I could sit cross-legged in and not ram my legs into like hard plastic arms. So this was kind of the best thing I could find. I went with a cow print. I don't know, at the time I was feeling a little more yeehaw than I feel right now. I might down the road make a chair cover for it, but also I don't know if this chair will last that long, so I just have it covered with a throw blanket. And then below that, of course, is this rug that I think is so gorgeous. Don't know if I would buy this particular type of rug again. I think it's from Ruggable. Gorgeous design. That's why I bought it. I could not get the image of this rug out of my head. I think it's absolutely stunning. I love the color. I love the design. I don't love the way it feels on bare feet. It's their low pile option, which feels a little bit like plasticky and squeaky, but thankfully that hasn't been too much of an issue because it's either partly covered by the like plastic rug protector for under the swivel chair, or I'm usually wearing socks or slippers, so I don't notice it too much. But if that is a sensory ick for you, keep that in mind before buying from that company. And then moving up above the desk, I made both of these machine covers. I'm planning on making a matching one. I just need to make more patchwork to match this. And then I bought a simple small pegboard to hang up my, goodbye. Hello? Anyway, I bought a pegboard to hang up my sharps and my frequently used tools. That has been so useful to have stuff stored out of the way but still accessible. I have this little tray here that I thrifted that I keep some thread on, but otherwise I actually do have like multiple containers of thread storage because I then have a thrifted larger sewing box down below the desk that has thread. I also have a bin of thread in the closet. You go through a lot of thread sometimes. It's fine. On top of this little storage tower is this little crow-shaped trinket dish that was gifted to me back in freshman year of college. Yeah, I've lost touch with the person who gave it to me, but they did a good job. I love this little trinket dish. This is another little thrifted dish. I like to have little trays around as like catch-alls for stuff, and Sometimes they serve different purposes. Sometimes it's just I need a place to put things before I have time to sort them. This is a La Dispute mug that I bought years and years and years ago. They are one of my favorite bands, and I would love to still use this mug as a mug, but the handle broke. And even though I have super glued it back together, I just am too afraid of it breaking and spilling my hot beverage all over me. I would hate that a lot. So I just use it for pens and highlighters. Gosh, I'm not going to talk about every single thing on this wall, but these shelves, as you can probably plainly see, are made from repurposed scrap 2x4s, and they look like 2x4s. Yeah, when there was construction being done on this property a couple years ago, there was a lot of just like little wood scraps. And listen, I am one crafty wench. Do not leave stray wood scraps around me. I will build something. So I made shelves. That's a theme in this apartment, is me just like putting up custom shelves everywhere. Gosh, so I have so much stuff. A lot of this stuff is thrifted. Some of these are gifts. Oh, the little bird up there, I just like found that at college. It was like sitting outside one of the dorms after the students had left for the semester, because I would work summers on campus. So sorry if I took someone's foam bird, but it's been with me for a long time now. My sister-in-law gifted me that little plague doctor. This empty whiskey bottle used to not be empty. That was a gift from my mother-in-law because she is the goat. This is an embroidery that I made. It's not that good. Listen, I'm not very good at embroidery. It's fun to do sometimes, so it's good enough for me to display. I like it. This little jade elephant, I've had since I was a kid. There was one time we went to a Chinese restaurant that I don't know if they were like moving or closing or what the deal was, but they had a bunch of decor that they were getting rid of and selling, and we bought a couple of things that lived in our house for such a long time, like really beautiful stuff, and that elephant is one of those things. I just think it's so cute, and it's very easy to just hang anywhere that I've lived. These are some butterfly wings that I found around the property. You'll see there's lots of bones. There's lots of bones all over this room. The larger ones are from a deer carcass that decomposed up near the front of our neighborhood. And yeah, one morning I just went out and like took all the bones. I let nature do the hard part for me, and then I brought them back and deep cleaned them here at home and decorated with them. So, little jar of safety pins, little jar of buttons, some more rocks. This little guy I got at a regional, like small regional Renfaire. The person was selling these cute little handcrafted Viking gnomes. The larger ones were way too expensive for me personally, and I wouldn't have known where to put it anyway, so I just got this tiny little guy. This picture up top is the matching one that goes with that one that I got at a yard sale. This one I thrifted. This is just a picture of Florence Welch that I cut out of a magazine and put in a frame because I think it's really cool. These little stone crows I got at a rock shop in Rehoboth last summer. I really like going into rock shops and seeing if there's anything cool or unique, but the thing is, like, I have a go-to shop. That's gonna sound crazy, but if you've ever been in the Midlothian area right outside of Richmond, there's a shop called Packard's Stamps and Rocks, I think is what they're called. They are so reasonably priced, so knowledgeable about all of the rocks. They take a more like geological approach, not a these rocks will cure you approach, and I just really like that shop. There's so much to look at. There's so many rocks from all over the world. So if you're ever in that area, check them out. That's where I get some of my favorite rocks. Like, look at this gorgeous amethyst. Okay. Before we leave this side of the room and swing around to the other side, I would be remiss if I didn't touch upon the gallery wall, of course. Again, something that features somewhat regularly in my videos, but always in the background and never quite the full thing. Before I touch on that though, above me on the bulk out, I do have a set of movable lights that I installed up there just because the ceiling light is not that bright. Oh, studio lights, that's what they're called. Oh my gosh, swivelable lights, good lord. Anyway, I added some lights up there and I don't use them super frequently, but they have come in handy enough that I think the purchase was worth it. And then above that is a cutout that says "Welcome to the Black Parade." That's a banner that a friend made for me for said previously mentioned mentioned 30th birthday party, and it was just too cool to like pack away once the party was done, so I just strung it up there. Shout out to Tracy for making that for me. But anyway, back to this gallery wall. Should we go right to left? Let's go right to left. Yeah, why not? This is a butterfly that I found on this property, and I did have to buy a shadow box specifically to put this in. It's kind of rare to find a butterfly perfectly preserved like this. This is a little thrifted latch box that I stained and painted the inside of. It's this lovely deep plummy purple, so it's just got some little jars of random stuff, some chicken bones. Yeah, these are chicken bones from when my mother-in-law made chicken noodle soup, and I found some bones in it, but that's not a slight on her. It was like really good homemade chicken noodle soup. This is a printout that I found left behind in one of the biology labs in college. Thought it was really cool. Sorry if somebody actually needed that. I swear to you, it was just like on a counter by itself, like left again after the year was over. And I was like, cool, rat skulls. This is mine now. This is a print of one of my favorite paintings by Andrew Wyeth called Christina's World. I bought that at the MoMA in high school. Our drama club would take field trips to New York City. We would go like right before Christmas, and it was freezing, and we would see a Broadway show. It was very expensive, but it was a really cool experience. I remember being introduced to Andrew Wyeth my freshman year of high school in my art class, and he's one of my favorite painters. I just love his moody color palette. I love it. This is actually a greeting card of a cedar waxwing. There are 5 cedar waxwings in this room. They're my favorite bird. These are 2 little frames that I thrifted and painted black. They were like some weird neon colors initially. Actually, all of these frames are thrifted, except for the shadow box that the butterfly is in. In this top one is actually a copy of a picture of my grandmother, one of my grandmothers. I don't know which one. I did not have a relationship with either of them. I just thought it was a cool picture. Is that weird? I don't know. But anyway, and then below is a copy of a photograph that I found in a photo album that I bought at a flea market in Baltimore back in high school. Really random, I know. There was just this photo album. I don't know why I was so drawn to it, and I bought it, and it had all these family photos. It was at, is it Arts Fest or Artscape or something? It was hot. It was hot that day. Maybe I was delirious. I don't know. I bought someone's like old family photo album, and I carried it around for years. I don't have the photos anymore. I have like 5 of the photos that I just can't part with because I think they're so interesting. Anyway, another card that I framed, I think I just thrifted this one. This is a map that I bought at an antique store in my college town, and I'm really bummed that that shop closed down because I loved going in there and just walking around and looking at all of the stuff. I regret that I didn't buy the other map. There were 2 of them. Being a broke college student, I was like, ooh, $12, I will just buy one. I wish I'd bought the other, but I'm very glad I have this one at least. Another thrifted card that came with the frame that was thrifted. And then this is a print of a Salvador Dali painting that I bought in college. I think there was like a poster sale. Yeah, they would have a company come through that like sold posters at the beginning of the year. That was weird. So that's where I bought that. 2 of my favorite artists could not be more different, Dali and Wyeth. I don't know, man. So that is this side of the room. I think this is a good time to take a little intermission, and then we'll hit the other side of the room. Are you trying to get down? Do you need some help? Okay, I'll help you. All right, welcome back. I hope you took a bathroom break, got a snack, whatever you need to do. Moving right along, we're gonna move over to the windows, which they're just windows, nothing special about the windows. But I have found myself using the window sills as storage of sorts. Never meant to do that, but hey, a flat surface is a flat surface, man, okay? So I have my little snake plant here. This is actually the baby of the snake plant that I used to have out in the living area, but that one died. It lives on through its offspring. I wanted to have a plant in here for so long, and it took me a while to land on this. Actually, I didn't land on it. It came about from the other plant, and I said, cool, now I have two. I've also been using this to place patterns that I'm currently working with, just so that they're out of the way but still accessible. Like I have the pattern that I'm using for the Instagram collab project sitting out here. I also have the pattern for my ongoing incomplete Outlander costume that I've been trying to get done for like 2 years now. It just hasn't been a priority, but it's still gonna happen. And then I've got a basket of some random stuff, like some rabbit bones, again collected from roadkill from the neighborhood. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. Maybe make some jewelry or like wall art. I don't know. I just think bones are cool, okay? On this windowsill, I have this little thrifted basket that is so cute, and for so long I was like, why do I have this basket? I don't know what to put in it. So now what I have in there is just the empty wooden spools of like vintage thread that I use up. I don't know why. I just feel compelled to keep them. This windowsill also has some bugs right now that only one of them I am intending to keep. I have a shadow box out in the living area that right now has a dead Hercules beetle and a cicada, but I recently found a dragonfly and it's in perfect condition. Once I get around to it, that's gonna go in the box and that will complete the box. This is a really cool crow lamp that my friend Dan got me, same friend who got me the black cat for my 30th birthday, got me this crow lamp and it's the coolest thing. Shout out to Dan, one of the best gift givers I've ever known. The problem is I don't know where to put it, so it lives on the windowsill for now. And then in the corner is a little jar of paintbrushes. My paintbrushes are super old and crusty. I don't paint like I used to back in high school. Honestly, all through childhood, I painted and drew a lot. I still paint sometimes, but it's usually part of some other project. So my paintbrushes are pretty crusty and I don't feel compelled to replace them because I'm not doing anything that's like fine detail work that it really matters. It's usually like slapping a coat of paint on something. And the jar that they're in, this is gonna sound really silly, but when I first moved into my first apartment, I bought myself a bouquet of sunflowers from Safeway that came in that jar. And it just made me so happy to be like, I'm in my own apartment and I have this jar of sunflowers and it's in this cute little mason jar. And so I still have the jar. And then between the windows here, I have a giant illustration of cedar waxwings. Like I said, there are quite a few cedar waxwings in this room. Below that, I have my college diploma hung up. I'm not going to show you because government name, but actually I did not frame my college diploma until we paid off my student loans. I don't know, that was just a thing in my head of like, I'm not going to display this until it is fully paid for and off my mind. And then I thrifted a frame for $5. I couldn't even be bothered to go get it like officially framed. And like, it's fine. It's still framed, right? Who cares? Nobody cares. I don't want to have it in storage though. I like to still have it out to be like, yes, this is a thing I accomplished and did, but it's easier for me to have it hidden behind the mirror so that I don't have to blur it out every single video. I could just hang it up in a different room, but I don't want to. It's my room, I do what I want. Above the pictures is my Plague Doctor mask, again from the costume I made several years ago. The mirror here I got off Facebook Marketplace for I think 30 bucks. Had to do a little bit of DIY handyman fixing because it was all like lopsided when I got it home and the holes were not in the correct place. I don't know, man, it was a little janky. Below the mirror here I have a basket of the fabrics I have pulled aside for the Instagram collab project, and then on the floor next to that is another basket. I have lots of baskets. That is how I contain my piles of doom. This is another basket of kind of current projects / fabrics that I would like to get to sooner than later. It helps me to pull things out of my fabric stash or my thrift flip stash to have more readily accessible. That way it's like, hey, this is the priority basket. Like, get to these things first before you go digging in your stash. I think the last thing I want to mention about this particular wall before we move on is if you follow me on Instagram, you might be very familiar with the view this way because I have a bird feeder out there and a little makeshift bird bath from just like an old terracotta dish. My stories are usually just, hey, look at this bird that I saw from my desk. In this corner we have the television, Wow. And more storage. It seems like there's been a lot of discourse over whether or not having a television visible in a room is like okay or not. Who cares? Like, we watch television, man. You might be watching this on a TV right now. Sometimes it's nice to put something on in the background while you work, so that's what I use this for. It's a very old television though. It's like just barely a smart TV. It's incompatible with a lot of apps now, so I mostly can only watch YouTube and Netflix. Or I bought myself a thrifted DVD player a while ago, so I can watch DVDs, but I can't watch Blu-rays. And I've been trying to buy myself a combo DVD Blu-ray player for this room, but they're insanely expensive right now. They went up to like $90. I need y'all to get over your like fake analog obsession so that the prices can go back down, please, okay? I think one of my favorite things in this room though is my art piece that I made up here for above the TV. So because this is already such a big, heavy frame, heavy shape, I didn't want to put more framed pictures above it. I mean, I guess I could have done like a sequence of some smaller things, but I just wanted something different because I already have the gallery wall. I already have a gajillion picture frames all around the room. So I went with a branch that I literally just found out in the woods and decorated it with hanging ribbons, dried flowers, a couple of bones, some feathers that I found in the woods. I think they're mostly turkey feathers, it's hard to tell, but I just really love how that fits the space and fills it out without being something super heavy and bulky. It adds a lot of texture and color. Decorating with dried flowers hanging all around the place has been something that I've decorated with since college, and it pops up anywhere that I live, like all throughout the house. There's just like dried flowers hanging or like in a little vase. I just love dried flowers. Easily one of my favorite things that I've ever made. And then down here, this dresser, I thrifted this for $40 and I've wanted to replace it pretty much ever since I brought it home. But again, just like the desk and the chair and some of the other stuff that I've bought for this room, it's like, I mean, it's working well enough. The main reason I want to replace this is because it stanks a little bit. I guess I didn't really do my due diligence when I purchased it. I mean, like, you open the drawers and stuff, but I didn't really know how smelly it was until I got it home. So I cleaned it as best as I could. So I've got like miscellaneous mixed media stuff up here. This is a drawer of ribbons, like literally just ribbons. These are some crafting tools, more miscellaneous crafting stuff, paint, and some miscellany. This is like where I keep the tripods for my lights. And then this giant drawer down here is all clothing that is either intended to be thrift flipped or intended to be just used for fabric. It's fairly full, but not like busting at the seams. So as long as I can fit all of my clothing to be altered in that drawer, I feel like I'm doing okay. That's my limit. On top of here, I have a basket that is full of ribbons. Might be time to clean out my ribbons a little bit. But these are like the little clippings of ribbons that I don't know, they're kind of random, but you know, every now and then you need a random ribbon. This is my crossbow that I bought for my Buffy cosplay. I stained it a darker color, and now it just kind of lives back there. This is a basket full of teeny tiny gemstones. My 6-year-old niece, no, she just turned 7. Anytime she comes over, she just wants to like sit on the floor and look through these rocks. It's adorable. I'm like, sure, go ahead. Go ahead and look through the rocks. This right here is my little Sam that I made. Trick or Treat is one of my favorite Halloween movies. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend, unless you can't stomach horror movies at all. If you can, definitely watch it. I'm still a little disappointed that that video has not quite found its audience yet, but I'm very happy with the product that came out of that, so it's fine. It's fine. A couple of DVDs that I am working on watching. Stack of books. Oh, this on top here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This is a little paperweight guillotine. I have a little plastic skull. I don't quite remember where this came from, but because I'm terribly morbid sometimes, I put that in the little basin. And then I also have this little cat. The ones that are standing there like, I don't know how he ended up over here, but he's standing there as if he was the executioner. And so now we've got this strange little vignette of a cat who is very pleased with himself for enacting justice, I guess. Empty Salvador Dali candle container. This was from one of my roommates' senior year of college. or Sweetmates, I guess. Yeah, the candle is long since gone, but again, I really like Salvador Dali, his art, not the person, so I keep it. I love it. There's nothing in it right now. I used to like have dried flowers in it or something. And then this lamp is thrifted, but I added the fringe myself. It just felt like it needed an extra little something. So it's literally just hot glued on there. And over here is the part of the room that some of y'all might be judging me for, but it's fine. And that is my sewing room closet. Storage for my fabric, my costumes, miscellaneous crafting stuff. Outside of the closet, I just have a couple of flower crowns. They don't really need to be there, but they look cute, so it's fine. And then above that is my clock that I thrifted. I have thought about modifying it, either like adding some moss, changing the little emblem on it. I don't know. But I have to have an analog clock in every room because digital clocks are borderline meaningless to me. Like, I can read the numbers and I know what they mean, but I need to see how much of the pie I have left before I have to be somewhere else. I need to visualize it. So analog clocks for life. Anyway, here's my closet. This might be a little intense for some of y'all. Listen, some people have seen this closet and been like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is. My thing is, does everything have a home, and can I find what I need when I need it? Yes. So it's a lot of stuff jammed in here, but like, this is working for me. This is fine. Normally my big lights are up here, but obviously they are out in use right now. Here on the wall, I have this little plastic shoe storage thingy that is partly being used for miscellaneous costume stuff, a couple of props, but then also for a couple sewing things. Like, it's been kind of a catch-all for those random little things that I don't quite know where to put yet. Right now that's props that I was using for my acting classes, but they need a new home. All kinds of random stuff in the door here. Over here is my costumes, or at least most of them. These are the things that I'm pretty sure I might get around to using at some point during the year. Anything that I want to keep but is less likely to be used is in this bin here. So some of these are older costumes that I've previously made that, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use anytime soon. I probably could put them in deep storage, but I just don't want to. I don't know. I'm weird about, like, well, what if a pipe bursts and everything floods or bugs get to it? Not that that couldn't happen in here, but I just like to have them near-ish. I have a couple hung up back here that I'm really not likely to use, but I just don't feel like they'd be very happy folded away in a box. I set up the tower though a couple of months ago so that not everything had to be hung up, like especially some layering things like the chemises or like scarves. These are some unfinished projects, like random fabric, random backdrops, a bin of Renfaire stuff, a bin of scrap fabric. These, I'm trying to fill up this pillow with shredded scrap fabric, which is all in here, and clearly I'm not finding the time to get around to doing that. It's tedious. It's really tedious. I've also got some shoes down here, some that I need to sell, some that are for cosplays I haven't gotten around to. Sensing a theme here. And then up here in this corner, this bin is like extra stuffing. I think I have a little bit of quilt batting left over from when I finished my t-shirt quilt. More fabric, miscellaneous tall things. This is a bag of stuff I need to sell online, which I don't enjoy doing, but I also would like to make a little bit of money back on these things if I can. You know, I set a time limit for myself on these things. I'm not keeping them for like years, so I'll list them. If they don't sell, they'll go out at the clothing swap. If they don't get taken, they get donated, etc. Some wigs. I've also got paint in here. I have some acrylic paint, some watercolor paint. I feel like those could be better stored elsewhere. But again, like, everything has a home and I know where it is. So I could fret all day long till the cows come home and then some about if things are organized the best possible way or not. But ultimately it's like, can you find what you need when you need it? Is it functional? Yeah. Okay, then it's fine. Just let it be. Let it be. I might move this disco ball though. I think it's fun to open up the closet and be like, woohoo! Yeah, we're gonna make some stuff. But it's interfering with my hangers, as demonstrated by this one flopping to the ground. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm getting really tired. I feel like I'm getting more rambly and nonsensical as we go on. Be quiet. And now we have come full circle back to the last wall in this room, the wall on which the door is. English, am I right? This is the wall that I usually film against if I'm doing outfit videos or project reveals at the end. Although sometimes I just use the white door because that's easier. It's a lot easier setup because when I'm not filming against this wall, that's where this clothing rack lives. The intent with this clothing rack was that it would be to sort outfits if I am doing an outfit video, but I haven't done one of those in a while. So right now it's mostly where things that I'm currently working on live or things that I'm currently repairing live. And also I had to throw my long cardigan and my Outlander shawl up here because they were on the chair, and then Puppy was on the chair, and then Puppy wanted to eat the things that were on the chair, and that would make me really sad if she ate my Outlander shawl. So these got moved out of the way because Puppy. So this has mostly been like a landing zone for things that are in progress, but I will also put outfits here if they are being staged for a video or for some event that I'm going to. Having an extra clothing rack is actually really useful. And then down at the bottom is where a couple more of my basket piles of doom live. One of those baskets just got moved out of here actually. I had to repurpose the basket for Peanut's toys. I just needed something to corral her toys in. So I'm currently working with one pile of doom basket, aka things that I need to get around to, and one workout equipment basket that used to live in the closet, but I've been trying to do like some floor exercises and things a little bit more regularly, so it's helpful to have that out and visible because I will forget to take it out of the closet. The rug that I have beneath the clothing rack is just from Amazon. I forget the brand. I want to say it's La Home. Anyway, it's very soft. Over in this corner, all the way down here, is a tiny little fairy door that my husband 3D printed back when he had a 3D printer. So that just kind of lives there as like a cute little accent. Above the door, I have a foam sword that I really did just buy for one Instagram reel. A reel that I made no money on. I don't make any money off of Instagram. It's just for funsies. So yeah, I bought a sword for one reel and now it lives up there. You know what? I also bought it because it looks cool and that brings me joy. So that's that. I guess the only other fun detail about this wall is that if you look really closely on the door frame right here, there's a tiny little smudge of dried fake blood. And that is a remnant of my final girl dress destruction from back in the fall. I didn't even realize that I had done that at the time, but I think that was from when I came back into the room after splattering all of that fake blood on me, and I must have grabbed the door frame and not even realized. But I kind of don't want to clean it off, at least not yet. Well, I am officially exhausted from yapping so much. Like, my vocal cords are about to revolt. If you have stuck around to the end of this video, thank you. You guys are the real ones because I know this was a lot. You're either the real ones or you're really nosy, but either way, I appreciate you. This room has taken a long time to put together and curate the way that it is, but I'm really happy with it and I love working in here, so thank you for coming along on this insanely long tour. If you are still here, leave a dog emoji down in the comments. If you enjoyed hanging out, make sure that you subscribe so that we can hang out again next time, and I will see ya when I see ya. Okay, bye! Hey you, Peanut. What are you doing? Are you up to no good? Yeah, that's what I thought. A remnant of my final Goral? Good lord. That was cringe. So cringe.